Welcome to an episode of Chat Sports Talk, and welcome to the conclusion of the 2024 college football season. That's right, it's time for the national championship, the end of this 12-team format. We have two teams remaining. Two teams I think nobody really penciled in here. Two teams that got overlooked after having bad losses. A bad loss in their season. Have overcome those obstacles to meet up here in Hotlanta. We have the 14-1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish battling the 13-2 Ohio State Buckeyes. This is like the seventh meeting between these two schools, and there's a lot of history and animosity between them. But before we kind of jump into the stats and what we're looking at ahead of time, we're going to look quickly back on what happened last round, a little bit of history between these two, and then we kind of dive right in. So looking back at the semifinal round, with the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl, both these bowl games had excellent games, excellent game plans. You saw Penn State jump up ahead of Notre Dame early, but Notre Dame's tenacity and able to neutralize some of the effects of the Penn State offense and finding loopholes in the Penn State's defense allowed Notre Dame to edge out Penn State 27-24. It was just, the opportunistic of the secondary, getting interceptions at the most opportunistic times. Even though Penn State's running game was really effective in scoring like 3 rushing touchdowns, it was proof that there's issues right there with Notre Dame's defense to try to ensure that they could try to continue. Like Singleton had a fabulous game for the Nittany Lions. 84 yards but 3 rushing touchdowns. That was huge. And Leonard was able to overcome his 2 interceptions during that day, but he also had roughly about 30 yards rushing, which was something that Penn State's defense really had to control, was his ability to break out of the pocket and run and change the dynamic of a drive. Notre Dame was still able to do that, and it was a great game no matter how you looked at this. No matter if you're a Penn State fan, Notre Dame fan, it was a good head-to-head matchup. Then you look at the Cotton Bowl, you try to see, with Texas and Ohio State, the battle between Ewers and Howard, which quarterbacks come out on top. And they were virtually identical. Ewers had 1 more touchdown. Howard had a few more yards, but all in all, they were eerily identical. Once again, offenses play a huge role in this. The Junkins run in the fourth quarter really put that 7-point lead, put a 83 fumble yard return for a touchdown, nail in the coffin for the Longhorns. But, these guys put up amazing points. 370 total, 341 total between Ohio State and Texas alone. Limited turnovers to only 3 total. Got to let you know, both these teams came in there looking to try to stop themselves. Ohio State with the, slight advantage of controlling the ball. But I also picked Notre Dame and Ohio State to win these two matchups. Overall for the CFP, I'm 6-4. Of course, I had Ohio State and Texas get bounced out in the first round. That's beside the point. They got themselves to this position, and kudos to them. Now, looking at the history of these two Ohio State has a 6-2 advantage right now over Notre Dame. The last time Notre Dame beat Ohio State was before World War II. Before the 1940s. That's how long ago the Irish beat the Buckeyes. Their time frame of the greatest generation, our grandparents, or great-grandparents, depending on your age. Last time these two have faced off was back in 2023-22 season, regular season, when they did it home and home. Ohio State won both battles. They won 21-10 and 22, and then Notre Dame gave them hell in 23, but still losing 17-14. Last time they faced off in the postseason against each other was the 2015 Fiesta Bowl, where Ohio State routed Notre Dame 44-28. Last time these two have won a national championship. Notre Dame, 1988, under Lou Holtz, winning the Fiesta Bowl over West Virginia 34-21. Ohio State, 2014. They're in a CFP era where they beat Oregon 42-20 in Arlington. Last time these two appeared in the national championship game. 2012 for Notre Dame. The BCS national championship game in Miami, where they got obliterated by Alabama 42-14. And then for Ohio State, 2020. In Miami, where they got obliterated by Alabama 52-24. At least they have that in common. I mean, it's going to be, these guys hitting that plateau. Notre Dame has had any success getting the national title since 1988. The last chance they got there in the title game was 2012. I mean, they've had a couple other playoff appearances. Didn't pan out. Ohio State, since the establishment of the college football playoff, has found themselves in the equation, but only to have one title. So they always seem to find themselves in contention and find ways to bow out. They're 1-1 so far in the CFP era in the national title. This is the first time CFP era Notre Dame as in this position. And you look how they've gotten here, and you've seen how Ohio State has dominated the first two rounds. I mean, I said there's going to be a decrease in points against Texas, and I was right. They were not going to put up 40 points against Texas. But they're definitely going to put up points. They were going to put up points against them. And for the Irish, that defense, the defense itself is what's going to help the Irish. They can't allow Ohio State running backs to dictate how this game is going to go. They can't let Henderson or Judkins to really dominate, and that's going to be part of the issue for the Notre Dame defensive front. Is that there is a core good running backs the Buckeyes have that's going to give the Irish fits. Now, Howard's not going to be so much as a elusive cannon you have to worry about, but they got to take care of that. And that defensive front by the Buckeyes will give the Irish running game and Love and Leonard some issues to try to break free. But if Leonard can try to take advantage of maybe some short routes, just take what the defense gives him. That's going to be key and limit his mistakes. He does like the gun and out, which tends to lead to turnovers. Howard definitely has issues as well, especially if Notre Dame's defense can get in there and disrupt his timing completely. He has a tendency to make some erratic behaviors. The Michigan game is a prime example of that. Where the Michigan defense stepped up and locked down Ohio State's offense. Notre Dame has to match that intensity that Michigan did. Problem is, Brian Day has found ways to ignite his team. They struggle against Texas, but still up winning thanks to the defense, and that's going to be key. The two defenses are going to be a huge factor in this game to find out which one is going to be the one sitting on top. Those offenses are going to find themselves in key positions as well. Howard definitely has the better aspect, quarterback-wise. Everything's pointing towards Ohio State. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Everything is pointing towards the Buckeyes. They're stacked defensively. They got the running backs. I think Notre Dame's running game is going to be right up there with them. I mean, both of them have some good receivers. Both quarterbacks have given time, can pick apart a defense. Both coaches are really, really good. Their defense are opportunistic. I mean, this is a game between two blue bloods. And the Irish right now, their history against the Buckeyes are not in their favor. And that's what led to a lot of people to kind of go one direction. And me as an Irish fan, I try not to be too one-sided, too favoritism and whatnot. But it's the signs point one direction. They really do. I mean, everything points there. Analytically, Ohio State's favored by 55%. They have a 9.5-point spread. Like I said, the defense is right now riding high, especially, what they did against Texas. How they're to tone down everything, but still coughed up a lot of yards, but didn't cough up the points. And that was the key aspect against them. But the Irish defense coughing up 3 rushing touchdowns to one back is going to be an issue. But how can Notre Dame's offense respond to that? And they respond quite well. They were able to pick apart Penn State's defense to find, the holes and take advantage of situations that Penn State was able to, show up and allow them to do. I don't want to try to show my bias in this situation, but like I said, everything's pointing towards Ohio State, and that's all I hear is Ohio State's is the winner. Is going to win this game, and historically, right now, it looks like Ohio State has this. Day has had Freeman's number so far, but things can change. It's which quarterback's going to make the least mistakes and which defense is going to take the opportunity to turn a turnover into points. That is going to be a key factor in this game. Can Notre Dame's defense keep Ohio State's rushing attack contained to a point? Limit their effects. And can Notre Dame's offense find weaknesses in Ohio State's defense to counter the rushing attack? As I said multiple times in this video, Ohio State is favored heavily in this game. All signs point to them. I'm going to show my bias. I'm sorry. If there's like 9 people saying everything's one direction, it's going to be at least one guy that says the opposite to kind of throw everything for a loop, try to balance the equation a bit. I'm taking Notre Dame. Sooner or later, the Irish are going to have to get the upper hand on the Buckeyes. They haven't done that in the past 30 years. Definitely in the past 2 seasons. Everything always points towards Ohio State. Freeman's got just the way this team is running right now for Notre Dame. They believe. I dialed them against Georgia, and they showed up. I dialed them quite a few times during the season. They showed up. But they are stepping up to the plate. collectively. They believe in this. Ohio State has taken that Michigan loss to heart as well. The Michigan loss to heart, and they're trying to go, okay, maybe we didn't win the Big Ten, but we're going to win the Natty. That's what their thing is. The Irish are like, okay, we don't have a conference. Yeah, we got embarrassed by Northern Illinois at home, but look what we've done since. Yeah. 13 straight wins. Maybe that comes to an end on Monday night. Who knows? I know this is not quite a foretelling experience. Maybe it's going to be like a one-sided affair, as a lot of times these bowl games can be. Sometimes Notre Dame kind of lets down a few times, especially this season. But yeah, I'm going to take the biased choice. I am taking the Irish to win and win the first national championship since 1988. It's about time Notre Dame breaks that tie with USC. There's my take on the national championship. In terms of the college football playoff itself, it's a great format. These 12 teams are great. Could there be a few tweaks in there? Sure. I'm not whole set on the top 4 conference champions getting the first round bye. But it kind of plays into the NFL where all divisional winners get a home game. But also I like the fact you have the top 4 because, as we've seen in this past rankings, now have been Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and Ohio State. Or Penn State, I think. Now have been Penn State. So, no, I don't think it should have been that either. It's just, you have to find the right balance between the two, and that's going to be a hard part to try to do, is try to ensure that everyone has an equal footing in this aspect. And having SEC and Big Ten being the top 4 seeds, I don't think nobody wants that, except for the Big Ten SEC. But having, Arizona State and Boise State getting that first round bye, I don't think they deserved it either. Especially Arizona State. Could we expand the playoffs? Wait a couple more seasons. See how this kind of plays out. See if we have a continuing trend that needs to be addressed. Yeah, Miami and Alabama can complain all they want, but they had to win the games. They had to win. Yeah, for Alabama, it's a 3-loss team. Didn't win their conference. Sorry, you're out. Miami, I kind of get why they're all upset, but they had an opportunity against Syracuse and blew it. It probably kept Clemson out of the equation, but you have to win games to get there. You have to win games at the right time. As well, so that kind of plays a huge factor and makes the season as a whole count more. You don't have, as soon as you have a loss, you're out of the equation. Or 2 losses, you're out of the equation. Now you have an opportunity, hey, maybe you have a really slow start beginning the season, but if you kill it towards the end and get your opportunities, you could make a run. And I think that's what the playoff system is designed for, is to ensure the entire regular season has the opportunity to have some meaning to it. I know my pick for a national championship is going to be popular. I get that. I don't care. It is what it is. The Buckeye fans are going to root for the Buckeyes. Irish fans are going to root for the Irish. You got those that are supposed to be, neutral out there in the sports realm, that going to lean more towards Ohio State than not. I'm just trying to be optimistic about the Irish. They have proven to be quite feisty, and their defense is going to be tested immensely against the Buckeyes. There's no question about that. It's just how can the defense rise to the occasion, and can the offense match that intensity? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. I know it's going to be kind of weird looking at that and what to do after college football season. Maybe I start going back in those realignment scenarios, kind of give a recap on what's going on. And boy, it's getting kind of crazy now. But Northern Illinois out of the MAC again. Who would have thought that? But hey, it is what it is. If you like what I do, let's mix up the comments. Now boost the algorithm, get this video out to the rest of the people to enjoy my idiotic ramblings as much as you do. And enjoy what I do, hit that thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. Another thing to do to help support this channel is to subscribe. What you're going to do is hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon, turn on notifications next time I post any more content on my channel. I'll see you next time. Let's chat sports talk.